1. This video is for the introduction to quadratics. And so to start off, all quadratic equations are written in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So when graphed, a quadratic equation creates a U-shaped curve called a parabola. So it says to use your graphing calculator to sketch the following. So if you would graph these, clear mine out here. So you'd have x squared plus 2x minus 5. So you kind of get an idea of what this graph looks like. It's going to look something like that. And then there's different pieces that go along with this as well. So you can see this one turns upside down. And so you've got an axis of symmetry. So that would be where the parabola turns. And then you've got a vertex, and that's, again, where the parabola turns. So this would be your vertex. And then this line here is your axis of symmetry. So this is your vertex on this one. And then this would be your axis of symmetry. All right, so if A is positive, then the parabola opens up like a smile. So that's, you can see that in this example. And so A would be your x here, or what's attached to your x, and so that's positive. If it's negative, like it is in the second example, then the parabola opens down like a frown. Okay, so the axis of symmetry. This is the vertical line that divides the parabola into two equal parts. So the formula for the axis of symmetry, or finding the axis of symmetry, is negative b divided by 2a. So the vertex is the turning point. Of the parabola. So when the vertex is the lowest point, it is called the minimum. And when the vertex is the highest point, it's called a maximum. So here's an example. So to find the axis of symmetry, we're going to do negative b divided by 2a. So b is this value, and then a is what's attached to x squared. So negative b would be a negative 8 divided by 2, and then the a would be a 1. And that's going to give me a negative 4. So that would be our axis of symmetry. So to find the vertex, what you have to do is to plug this value back into your original quadratic. And so here you would get y equals -1. So your vertex would be -4, -1. So it says to sketch it. So if I sketch this, my vertex would be here, and this would be -4, -1. And then my axis of symmetry is going to run all the way through that. And then my parabola is going to go through that point as well. So this line here would be x equals -4. Oh, sorry, guys. All right, so axis of symmetry. So here's my B, here's my A. So -b would be -10, or oops, sorry, that's +10, divided by 2 times a -1 this time. And that would give me an x value of 5. Actually, it'd be a negative. Oh, it would be a -10. I'm sorry, guys. It would be a +5. And then to find your vertex, we would take that 5 and plug it in. And so my y value would equal 2. So my axis of symmetry is x equals 5. And then my vertex would be 5, 2. And so again, remember, if your a value is negative, it's going to be a frown. So there's my vertex, axis of symmetry, and then my parabola. So this point would be 5, 2, and my axis of symmetry would be x equals 5. Okay, so same thing. So here's my B, here's my A. So in this case where it says -12, you would have a -12, which would make that a +12. And then my A is 3. So I would have an axis of symmetry of x equals 2. And then my vertex would be at, let's see, y would be -7. So my vertex is going to be 2, -7. I've got a positive A, so it's going to open up like a smile. So that would be my vertex, axis of symmetry. So my vertex is 2, -7, and my axis of symmetry is x equals 2. All right. So here's my A, here's my B. So -b divided by 2a would give me a -1. So the axis of symmetry, x is going to equal -1. The vertex would be y equals -5. So my vertex would be at 1, -5. A is positive, so it's going to open up. So my vertex is at 1, -5, and my axis of symmetry is x equals -1. Sorry. All right. So here's my A, here's my B. So again, we've got a -4. So it would be a -4, which would be a +4. And so my x is going to equal a -2. So my y would be a +2. So my vertex would be at -2, +2. Here we've got an A that's negative, so we're going to have a frown. It's going to go upside down. So this would be at -2, 2, and my axis of symmetry would be x equals -2. All right, last one. So here's my A, here's my B. Again, we've got a -b, so it would be a +12 there. So my x is going to equal 3. And then my vertex is going to equal a -9. So it would be at 3, -9. Positive A, so it's going to open up. So this point would be 3, -9, and my axis of symmetry is x equals 3. So that's it for this video.